Madam C.J Walker_face_circa 1914. Walker. Circa 1914. Born Sarah Breedlove. December 23, 1867. Delta, 5th Military District. Opening parenthesis. Louisiana, U.S. Died May 25, 1919. Aged 51. Irvington, New York, U.S. Resting place. Woodlawn Cemetery, Bronx, New York. Occupations: businesswoman, hair care entrepreneur, philanthropist, activist. Known for. Founder of Madam C.J. Walker Manufacturing Company. Spouses: Moses McWilliams, M.A. Known for. Founder of Madam C.J. Walker Manufacturing Company. Spouses: Moses McWilliams. Opening parenthesis. Married. 1882, died 1887. John Davis. Opening parenthesis. Married. 1894. Divorced. 1903. Charles Walker. Opening parenthesis. Married. 1906. Divorced. 1912. Children: Aralalia Walker. Relatives: Aralalia Bundles. Great-great-granddaughter. Website: madamquarker.com. Walker made her fortune by developing and marketing a line of cosmetics and hair care products for black women. Through the business she founded, Madam C.J. Walker Manufacturing Company. She became known also for her philanthropy and activism. She made financial donations to numerous organizations such as the NAACP, and became a patron of the arts. Villa Luaro. Walker's lavish estate in Irvington, New York, served as a social gathering place for the African American community. At the time of her death, she was considered the wealthiest African American businesswoman and wealthiest self-made black woman in America. Opening square bracket. 4. Closing square bracket. Her name was a version of Mrs. Charles Joseph Walker, after her third husband. Early life. Personal life. Career. Activism. C.J. Walker was born Sarah Breedlove on December 23, 1867, close to Delta, Louisiana. Her parents were Owen and Minerva Anderson Breedlove. Opening square bracket. 5. Closing square bracket. Opening square bracket. 6. Closing square bracket. She had 5 siblings, who included an older sister, Louvenia, and 4 brothers, Alexander, James, Solomon, and Owen Jr. Her older siblings and parents were enslaved by Robert W. Birney on his Madison Parish plantation. While Sarah was the first child in her family born into freedom after President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. Her mother died in 1872, likely from cholera. An epidemic traveled with river passengers up the Mississippi, reaching Tennessee and related areas in 1873. Her father remarried but died a year later. Opening square bracket. 7. Closing square bracket. She was orphaned at the age of 7. Sarah moved to Vicksburg, Mississippi, at the age of 10, where she lived with Louvenia and her brother-in-law, Jesse Powell. She started working as a child as a domestic servant. Opening square bracket. 5. Closing square bracket. Opening square bracket. 8. Closing square bracket. I had little or no opportunity when I started out in life, having been left an orphan and being without mother or father since I was 7 years of age, she often recounted. She also stated that she had only 3 months of formal education, which she undertook during Sunday school literacy lessons at the church she attended during her earlier years. Family. Edit. In 1882, at the age of 14, Sarah married Moses McWilliams, whose age was unknown, to escape abuse from her brother-in-law, Jesse Powell. Opening square bracket. 5. Closing square bracket. Sarah and Moses had one daughter, Lelia, who was born on June 6, 1885. When Moses died in 1887, Sarah was 20 and Lelia was 2. Opening square bracket. 8. Closing square bracket. Opening square bracket. 10. Closing square bracket. Sarah remarried in 1894, but left her second husband, John Davis, around 1903. Opening square bracket. 11. Closing square bracket. In January 1906, Sarah married Charles Joseph Walker, a newspaper advertising salesman she had known in St. Louis, Missouri. Through this marriage, she became known as Madam C.J. Walker. The couple divorced in 1912. Charles died in 1926. Lelia McWilliams adopted her stepfather's surname and became known as Aurelia Walker. Opening square bracket. 8. Closing square bracket. Opening square bracket. 12. Closing square bracket. Religion. Edit. Walker was a Christian. Her Christian faith had a large influence on her philanthropy. Opening square bracket. 14. Closing square bracket. She was a member of the African Methodist Episcopal Church. Career. Madam C.J Walker manufacturing company, Indianapolis, Indiana 1911. C.J. Walker Manufacturing Company, Indianapolis, Indiana, 1911. In 1888, she and her daughter moved to St. Louis, where 3 of her brothers lived. Sarah found work as a laundress, earning barely more than $1 a day. She was determined to make enough money to provide her daughter with formal education. Opening square bracket. 15. Closing square bracket. Opening square bracket. 7. Closing square bracket. During the 1880s, she lived in a community where ragtime music was developed. She sang at St. Paul African Methodist Episcopal Church, and started to yearn for an educated life as she watched the community of women at her church. Opening square bracket. 16. Closing square bracket. Sarah suffered severe dandruff and other scalp ailments, including baldness, due to skin disorders and the application of harsh products to cleanse hair and wash clothes. Contributing factors to her hair loss included poor diet, illnesses, and infrequent bathing and hair washing during a time when most Americans lacked indoor plumbing, central heating, and electricity. Opening square bracket. 13. Closing square bracket. Opening square bracket. 9. Closing square bracket. Opening square bracket. 17. Closing square bracket. A container of Madam C.J. Walker's wonderful hair grower is held in the container of Madam C.J. Walker's wonderful hair grower is held in the permanent collection of the Children's Museum of Indianapolis. Madam C.J. Walker's wonderful hair grower in the permanent collection of the Children's Museum of Indianapolis. Opening square bracket. 18. Closing square bracket. Initially, Sarah learned about hair care from her brothers, who were barbers in St. Louis. Opening square bracket. 9. Closing square bracket. Around the time of the Louisiana Purchase Exposition, World's Fair at St. Louis in 1904, she became a commission agent selling products for Annie Turnbow Malone, an African-American hair care entrepreneur and owner of the Poro Company. Opening square bracket. 5. Closing square bracket. Sales at the exposition were a disappointment since the African-American community was largely ignored. While working for Malone, who would later become Walker's largest rival in the hair care industry. Opening square bracket. 16. Closing square bracket. Sarah began to take her new knowledge and develop her own product line. Opening square bracket. 12. Closing square bracket. In July 1905, when she was 37 years old, she moved with her daughter to Denver, Colorado, where she originally continued to sell products for Malone while developing her own hair care business. However, the two businesswomen had a falling out when Malone accused Walker of stealing her formula, a mixture of began to take her new knowledge and develop her own product line. In July 1905, when she was 37 years old, she moved with her daughter to Denver, Colorado, where she originally continued to sell products for Malone while developing her own hair care business. However, the two businesswomen had a falling out when Malone accused Walker of stealing her formula, a mixture of petroleum jelly and sulfur that had been in use for 100 years. Opening square bracket. 19. Closing square bracket. Following her marriage to Charles Walker in 1906, Sarah became known as Madam C.J. Walker. She marketed herself as an independent hairdresser and retailer of cosmetic creams. Madame was adopted from women pioneers of the French beauty industry. Opening square bracket. 20. Closing square bracket. Her husband, who was also her business partner, provided advice on advertising and promotion. She sold her products door to door, teaching other black women how to groom and style their hair. Opening square bracket. 8. Closing square bracket. Opening square bracket. 12. Closing square bracket. In 1906, Walker put her daughter in charge of the mail-order operation in Denver while she and her husband traveled throughout the southern and eastern United States to expand the business. Opening square bracket. 15. Closing square bracket. Opening square bracket. 9. Closing square bracket. Opening square bracket. 17. Closing square bracket. Opening square bracket. 21. Closing square bracket. In 1908, Walker and her husband relocated to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where they opened a beauty parlor and established Lelia College. Opening square bracket. 22. Closing square bracket. To train hair culturists. As an advocate of black women's economic independence, she opened training programs in the Walker system for her national network of licensed sales agents who earned healthy commissions. Michaels, Ph.D. 2015. Hair culturists. As an advocate of black women's economic independence, she opened training programs in the Walker system for her national network of licensed sales agents who earned healthy commissions. Michaels, Ph.D. 2015. After Walker closed the business in Denver in 1907, Aurelia joined her in Pittsburgh. In 1910, when Walker established a new base in Indianapolis, Aurelia ran the day-to-day operations in Pittsburgh. Opening square bracket. 23. Closing square bracket. Aurelia also persuaded her mother to establish an office and beauty salon in New York City. Growing Harlem neighborhood in 1913, it became a center of African American culture. Opening square bracket. 20. Closing square bracket. In 1910, Walker relocated her businesses to Indianapolis, where she established the headquarters for the Madam C.J. Walker Manufacturing Company. She initially purchased a house and factory at 640 Northwest Street. Opening square bracket. 24. Closing square bracket. Walker later built a factory, hair salon, and beauty school to train her sales agents, and added a laboratory to help with research. Opening square bracket. 17. Closing square bracket. She also assembled a staff that included Freeman Ransom, Robert Lee Brokenburr, Alice Kelly, and Marjorie Joyner, among others, to assist in managing the growing company. Opening square bracket. 12. Closing square bracket. Many of her company's employees, including those in key management and staff positions, were women. Opening square bracket. 20. Closing square bracket. File, Madam A. Walker driving automobile. Madam Walker and several friends in her automobile, 1911. Method of grooming was designed to promote hair growth and to condition the scalp through the use of her products. Opening square bracket. 12. Closing square bracket. The system included a shampoo, a pomade, stated to help hair grow, strenuous brushing, and applying iron combs to hair. The method was purported to make lackluster and brittle hair become soft and luxuriant. Opening square bracket. 15. Closing square bracket. Opening square bracket. 9. Closing square bracket. Walker's product line had several competitors. Similar products were produced in Europe and manufactured by other companies in the United States, including her major rivals, Malone's Poro system and Sarah Spencer Washington's Apex system. Opening square bracket. 26. Closing square bracket. Between 1911 and 1919, during the height of her career, Walker and her company employed several thousand women as sales agents for its products. Opening square bracket. 8. Closing square bracket. By 1917, the company claimed to have trained nearly 20,000 women. Opening square bracket. 24. Closing square bracket. While some sources have written that the women dressed in a characteristic uniform of white shirts and black skirts and carried black satchels, there is nothing in the Walker Beauty School manual that verifies that. Others have written the agents focused on door-to-door sales as they visited houses around the United States and in the Caribbean, offering Walker's hair pomade and other products packaged in tin containers carrying her image, but the more common scenario is that the Walker beauty culturists demonstrated their products in their homes and beauty salons because they needed a source of water to be able to show how the products worked. Walker understood the power of advertising and brand awareness. Heavy advertising, primarily in African American newspapers and magazines, in addition to Walker's frequent travels to promote her products, helped make Walker and her products well known in the United States. After training in sales and grooming, Walker showed other black women how to budget, build their own businesses, and encouraged them to become financially independent. In 1917, inspired by the model of the National Association of Colored Women, Walker began organizing her sales agents into state and local clubs. The result was the establishment of the National Beauty Culturists and Benevolent Association of Madam C.J. Walker agents, predecessor to the Madam C.J. Walker Beauty Culturists Union of America. Opening square bracket. 8. Closing square bracket. Its first annual conference convened in Philadelphia during the summer of 1917 with 200 attendees. The conference is believed to have been among the first national gatherings of women entrepreneurs to discuss business and commerce. Opening square bracket. 13. Closing square bracket. Opening square bracket. 15. Closing square bracket. During the convention, Walker gave prizes to women who had sold the most products and brought in the most new sales agents. She also rewarded those who made the largest contributions to charities in their communities. Opening square bracket. 15. Closing square bracket. Walker's name became even more widely known by the 1920s, after her death, as her company's business market expanded beyond the United States to Cuba, Jamaica, Haiti, Panama, and Costa Rica. Opening square bracket. 15. Closing square bracket. Opening square bracket. 9. Closing square bracket. Opening square bracket. 20. Closing square bracket. Opening square bracket. 26. Closing square bracket. Activism and philanthropy.